spoke with Sheila Eldridge. She said.
Let me know.
Okay.
You got to do this thing first.
Okay, yeah, afterwards. We'll be right here. Thank you.
I have so much respect for you. I love how you always speaking up for the truth. And I'm not going to bother. I'm trying to give you downtime, but thank you for always being a voice of truth.
Thank you so
I admire that.
It's a pleasure.
Likewise.
If you accepted love and y'all haven't started yet, I interrupt you for a second and tell you what an honor it is. I came in from Seattle. I'm the immediate past president for the National Black NBA Association in Seattle. But this concept of from vision to victory, your legacy is priceless. So it's just when you show up, it's the energy. I interview people as well, but obviously I'd love to interview you. We're leading a series called the Living Powerfully Experience and Better Together, the Better Together Empowerment Series. So I'd love to figure out the best way to bring you in. I'm doing media here. Are you doing interviews? Yes, I was only interjecting because what's the best way to follow up?
You have to get in touch with my producer.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. Let me check with her. I didn't know who.
Oh, maybe.
I think you need that fourth one, but those last two.
I can give you.
Okay, I'll double check it.
Let people on their way as soon as we figure out our interview. So if we need to interview more people, we can just link it out.
Okay.
They have something.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
So
you.
I can share some right there.
Thank you. Sorry. Thanks.
As long, I was just going to say, but double check because sometimes they, for the next whatever, I don't know if they need them. But
No, the production team was trying to move into another ballroom.
Okay.
So I'll check with Yolanda. But thank you.
Okay.
I literally threw it this morning.
We're just having some technical challenges with the screen talking to Angela's page.
I
We're going to go live from CBS and Addie and Chad will be live from there.
How you feel? Okay. We're closer than we first began. Remember I told y'all to smile? This is why. This is why. You can't do nothing about it. What can you do? What can you do?
Oh, hi. So good to see you. I was on the elevator with one of your colleagues.
Oh, wonderful. So, but do you have I was told by my boss here that I got 2 more minutes. My boss. Oh, look. Oh, she has a phone like you. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I got it. Okay, thank you. Oh, you can write everybody down. So you make me set up. I said, technical challenges. You should be able to walk up and get started.
I think Kelsey gave you an update on Bloomberg.
Yes, she did.
Okay, I think I should go back live and just say that we're about to do this thing. Lolo? Yeah. Because I was like, I'm ready to understand. Yeah, we got to start. Psych? No, we don't. Okay, I'll do it now. Okay.
Is it just
It's
these
from
4
Vision
chairs
to
right
Big.
here? Okay, I just framed it up for you guys.
Because I think those are received better, and then maybe I can put that on my actual. Okay. Hi y'all. It's been a minute. I haven't been live. I've been booked and busy with Native Lamb Pie, but today I get to be just an individual, sitting with my family, the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual Legislative Congress conference. This is the 53rd year, and I get to sit down and talk to some really incredible people that are doing amazing things in our community and in this conference. It's called From Vision to Victory, and we will be live with you in just a moment. Make sure you tune in. Put your questions in the comments. I might not see them right away, but I'll make sure we get to them. We'll be sitting down with some very special folks in just a minute. We'll get introduced to them. Thank you all so much for being here. See you shortly.
You are smooth.
Alrighty.
We're ready.
The good news is that
Show must go on. Literally, Nicole's like, I gotta come.
yeah. So how I think we should do this is have you interview one person at a time. You can do 5 minutes just so we can make you time here.
Okay. You don't want to do just maybe this panel for 5 minutes because they probably all got it.
Yeah. Well,
What do you guys think?
If they can
Whatever
all,
works.
The thing is, we're just trying to get the shot, so we'll probably set the camera here just so we can capture you all from
Okay.
this way.
Not right here.
I need to be back here just so
Oh,
we can.
Angela, it's a camera. It's a
I'm from Seattle.
Oh, good to see you. 1 second. I'm gonna talk to you 1 second. So wait, quick question. Is it the camera or we're using this?
We're gonna use this, but
Wait a second. You come here at 8:30 this morning then.
we tried to set it up. It says it's connected. It clunks out and says not connected. Like we tried several different ways. So
What about, you guys
technology's
don't have, the cam link where they can just plug into the phone? What about that? I'm gonna buy you one. You guys need that. Oh, they need one. Let's see. No, and they don't cost much, like $50.
Buy it, so Paul's fine.
Okay. Y'all can use mine. I want it back. Y'all can use mine today. You guys are probably gonna need to do some more live.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. So everybody
Mine is
can
like,
be on
bye.
their way.
So is this us or we're...
Huh? Whatever you want to do, sis. Whatever. The more the merrier. They want as many people to come register for the conference as possible. So we love it. Thank you for your support. Apparently we need 2 angles, so we'll take it. How about that? I was in the office call with your team yesterday. I was like, y'all remember to breathe and smile. Literally, because I would be on the floor crying. I did this at the DNC. We almost didn't go live. We had to hire a team that did not bring the right piece of equipment. I lost it. I had a full child tantrum.
What do you have, a cam what?
It's called a camera. Here, let me see. It's just like this little $50 connection. You can collect it. It's like the switcher to go live. I don't know why. It's a really small piece of equipment, but that's what they didn't have. So we ended up borrowing. Roland had an extra like whole thing, and he let us use that. $5,000 piece of equipment.
I want to know what the camera.
I'm about to send it to you right now. But it's great. It helps. It's a switcher, and that's what they need.
So we're gonna ask that you all use a mic just so sound is.
You can hear us.
We're ready.
Overnight from Amazon. I'm texting this to you.
And Jessica, we're just looking at one another and at Angela, correct? Okay.
I'm sending this to Don because I'll forget, and then I'm done. Okay. Here we go. You have it, Tom.
Thank you.
Are we live already, camera? Oh. Well, good morning, everyone. I think now good afternoon. Yes, we are so thrilled to be here for the annual legislative conference. It's the 53rd year with the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. And I get to sit here today with some of my friends who I've known for some time. I'm with Alfonso David, who is over the Global Black Economic Forum and is doing some very, very powerful work on the ground to ensure that Black economics are strengthened, communities are better, and that we turn out to vote. So thank you so much for your work, Alfonso. I'm with my good friend and brother, Don Lemon, who we had some good times, probably more than we should have, on CNN, laughing at things we should not be laughing at.
I miss it, though. I miss you.
I miss that, too. I miss you,
I miss our conversations, not necessarily the,
Yes, but he now has taken the world by storm with the Don Lemon Show and is killing it. And last but certainly not least, you all will see her a lot this week. If she can't stop and say hi to everybody, don't get mad. She's got a conference to run. She is the president of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, a brilliant civil rights lawyer and a good friend. So thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you for being here with us, Angela, and for featuring the conference.
It is my honor. So you all just had an amazing national town hall. Don, you moderated that conversation. Talk to us a little bit about the takeaways and folks who are at home and can't get to the conference. What are some of the things they should be focused on?
First of all, it's an honor to be here. And we had two very powerful conversations. One on democracy, right, and the threat, democracy being under threat. And then the second one was on economic empowerment for our people. And while they both were good topics, the second one I think was a fantastic talk, and it's in a way I think it's the most important because money is power, and we have economic power, and that gives us agency in society. And the group of people that we had here, including Alfonso, it was an amazing group that really got to the heart of it: housing. Corporate equity and political engagement, and we could have gone on for an hour. We went over. I was a little bit concerned that I was going to get kicked out, but you go online and see it. But it was a fantastic conversation, Alfonso. I'm sure you will agree. But I think it's what everyone needs to engage in, especially our people, figuring out and knowing our economic power.
I think one thing you said that's really important, too, is there is an amazing, very substantive conference. This is called From Vision to Victory this year, Nicole. And people, if you're not able to get to Washington, D.C., to the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, you can stream it online at CBCF Inc., CBCF for Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, cbcfinc.org. And that is important. You can stream all of this great content here. There's one thing you just talked about, Don, with our economic power in our communities. And Alfonso, that's something that you work on every single day. I will never forget a conversation with Congressman Rangel, who was one of the CBC founders, who said he wonders sometimes if we spent too much time focusing on social policy and not enough time talking about our economic policy and our plans. What do you think about that, and what are you all doing to advance that work?
Well, I would say I definitely agree with Congressman Rangel. Let me sort of talk about the framing of these issues. Many people think that Martin Luther King was really exclusively focused on social justice. He was not, right? He was focused on both social and economic justice. And when we think about after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed or after Reconstruction, there was a period of time where the U.S. government provided land to people in this country, primarily in the Midwest. They were all white or primarily white. They were not black. So when we talk about generational wealth, when we talk about creating a platform for us to grow as people of color economically, we didn't have the platform, we didn't have the foundation. And so much of what we do at the Global Black Economic Forum is creating those new pathways, is having the conversations with people to think about how we break down those silos that currently exist and how we create the new paradigm, if you will, of generational wealth, is really thinking about shifting our mindset from being consumers to being owners. And when we do operate as consumers, because we buy things, right? We're always buying things. Black people in this country are one of the largest consumer bases in the world. So when we buy things, who are we buying those things from? Who are we investing in? How are we investing? Where are we going on vacation? Right? Those are important questions to ask as we think about investing in our community and thinking about generational wealth. And I'm really happy to be here, and thank you again for hosting us at CBCEF, because I think, yes, this is a lot about policy, but this is also about action. This is about our own personal conduct and how we can be active participants in generational wealth growing in this country.
You know, I love what you just raised. Nicole, yes, thank you for hosting us and for convening us. This is one of those spaces where when you hear folks who always are like on the sidelines and complaining, we're never united, we don't come together. This is actually a powerful convening of every civil rights organization on the national level, some state and local as well. You all provide space for folks to have their own forums, even if it's not one hosted by a member, hosted by the foundation. You all offer that. Talk about why that's so important, and especially in a time like this.
You know, what I like to tell everyone is that this is ostensibly the largest Black public policy conference that takes place in the country. And it is because it provides a space, as you said, Angela. And again, thank you for bringing this conversation to your large audience. And thank you, Alfonso, for being a part of this conversation, and for you, Don, for hosting the town hall discussion this morning. But it is an opportunity for people, regardless of where you come from, to stand arm in arm with your elected officials, with the members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Where else can you go in the country where you can do that, where you can stop members in the hallway, where you can come up to them and say, this is what's happening in my community, here's what we're doing, how can you help? That doesn't happen anywhere else. I like to say that ALC is the great equalizer, and it is a place where everyone can come and have a voice. And that is important because we know that everything that we've talked about this morning at the town hall, talking about our democracy, talking about economics, those problems cannot be solved here in Washington alone. They cannot just be solved by those 60 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. It takes citizen activism. It takes grassroots advocates. It takes people sitting in their church basements, sitting at their sorority and fraternity meetings, in their civic associations, to really each and every day push for change and hold the feet to the fire of their local elected officials to ensure that change is coming to their communities. That's what ALC provides, and it provides it regardless of where you come from, regardless of economic status. We make sure that everyone has a seat at the table. Even if you can't afford the registration fee, which we like to keep nominal, we make certain that you have an opportunity to come here, to be seen, to be heard, and to be a part of the solutions.
I want to ask you all a fun question. So this is the Black Nerd Prom to me. And I want us to go through what our favorite annual legislative conference moment is. I have the same one every year. I'm not going to tell y'all till the end. Y'all are going first. But I want to know what the thing that you're most looking forward to, or your favorite thing about ALC.
I don't know if I should go first since it's my conference.
I'll
I'm a little biased.
I don't know if it's a thing, but I look forward to learning every year. I learn something every year, whether it's hosting a panel or participating or just going to parties. I learn a lot. But this year,
what you learn at the parties, Don? I love that part. He said, "I want to know that too." I learned how to do the Dougie once.
I learned just how much I love my people every single time, right? And I'm going to explain it next, because I think that we always knew this, but I think, when the vice president became the nominee, and I mentioned this earlier, and the women did their call, the Black women, by the way, shout out to Black women, thank you for doing that call, thank you for everything.
Shout out to Joe Take It Edie, by the way.
Amen. And then the brothers did their call, and Michael Blake and got on the call and said, everyone should put their differences aside, because we all don't think alike. We all don't have the same opinions. We don't have the same backgrounds. but this is a moment where we need to come together and be in relationship with each other. And that was mentioned on this stage today. And then I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, is being in relationship with my people and with, everyone here at the conference.
Love it. Alfonso, you go next.
I don't think there's one moment, because when you asked the question, I was going through my mind and thinking about what is that one moment. For me, it's not one moment. It is about the fellowship and community that I get every single time I come. There are very few spaces that we have in this country where we come together as people of color to really talk about the issues that are directly affecting us and come up with solutions. And, you have, as you heard from Nicole, legislators here, you have an opportunity to engage with them directly, and watching those conversations, seeing those interactions, being in these spaces, seeing the reactions to conversations that you're a part of and that you're watching. That sense of fellowship, that sense of community is what I look forward to every single year, and every single year is different, right? The conversations are different, the perspectives are different, but the sense of community and the sense of fellowship remains the same.
Angela?
What? You gonna try to correct the record on this party thing?
I'm a fun moment. You know how we tell, some people are like, they love to talk about their parents, their father.
Yeah.
So Angela Singles, CVC. She always talked about the CVC. That it's in your heart. You said you never leave. It never leaves you. Right?
Tell them what I really said. I said I still work here.
You said so. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that.
You can tell the business.
But when we worked together, you always talked about the CVC fondly, right? And just how it empowered our people, and it was always a touchstone for you. And when she got earlier, I said, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "I still work. You can't get away. Once you work, you always work."
And and it's my highest honor. So I'm sitting here even with y'all now and getting emotional. Part of it is because there are members who we've lost. I didn't mean to get this emotional. We've lost some stalwarts. We've lost some really incredible members, even just this year. And I still work here because they're family. Nicole and I just moments ago, to tell all the business, we just had a family talk. We want this thing to be the best. I want Nicole to win because Nicole wins, the members win, the community wins. And so my favorite moment probably feels very shallow, but I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite moment. Every year at the Phoenix Awards Gala, the members get their names called and they walk across the stage. And yes, you guys know clearly I like fashion. So you get to see them in their best black tie attire. But every single year that I've been here, that number has grown. And so from when I was the Congressional Black Caucus Executive Director, coming to support wrangling members, Nicole, which I will still gladly help with this year to make sure they go up on stage when they're supposed to, it has grown from 40 to 60 members. And now we're at 58 because, like I said, we've lost some members this year. But that number will be 60, and it might be more if this election goes. I'm partisan. They're not the way that I want it to go. That's not on you, as on this live, Nicole. But I will say that it is such a powerful moment, and here's why. Nicole said earlier that it is not just incumbent upon those CBC members, those 60 members, to get legislation passed. It's incumbent upon all of us. But they deserve to be seen and heard. And this is one place, this special, special sacred space, where we will see them, where we will properly honor them, and where we will call their names and will pronounce them correctly.
Yes.
How about that, right?
I messed up someone's name earlier, sorry.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry, Don. That wasn't shade to you. That was shade to everybody that says Kamala. You guys understand, right? So it is that. And so I want to thank you, Nicole, for holding so deeply to this legacy, pledging service to it even before you got here as an official, part of the CBC family. Nicole would come and brief us and make sure we understood all the things about voting rights laws, voter suppression, everything that was going on. And so we thank God for you. And I know I want to hear your special moment, but I just wanted to also pay tribute to what you're doing to ensure the members' legacy is preserved and celebrated. So thank you, sis.
Thank you, Angela. And you're right, we go way back. I feel like even before I worked here, I was working for the members, as a civil and human rights lawyer who was engaged in all of these issues. I have to tell you, just listening to the three of you, I'm thinking to myself, I have to tell our team, we need to write a book. No, seriously, I'm listening to your stories. Stories bring everything to life. And people need to hear why this conference is important, why it's life-changing, why it is life-changing in terms of the Black agenda and what it helps us to do. So I'm going to tell you my favorite moment because it is like the Constitution. It is ever-changing and ever-evolving in terms of, what we can do and how we use this moment. Every time someone stops me and says, Nicole, this was my first ALC, and here's what it did for me, or here's how it changed my life, that is my favorite moment. And I relate to that because I still remember my first ALC. My first ALC, when I was just a 20-something, I was just starting law school. And this was, Angela, this is before your time, back when ALC, they used to hold the sessions actually in the Congressional office buildings. So I was in the Rayburn House office building, and I had just come out of a session, and I looked to my left, and walking down the hall was Justice Thurgood Marshall. And this daunting, amazing figure, and here I was, a newbie law student, and my hero, and I am a graduate of the Howard University School of Law.
Come on.
You know the house that created him and that his mentor, Charles Hamilton Houston, helped to build. And that was life-changing for me. But that's what I mean when I say this is for everyone. Because when people stop me and say and tell me those experiences, it is a reminder that this is a place for everyone. As Alfonso said, it is a place where everyone has an opportunity to come and talk to members, create change. Those are the moments that I love, and they happen every day. Just before we got up here, someone came to me and said, Nicole, I met you. She met me at another conference earlier this year, and I said, well, do you know about the annual legislative conference? She was telling me she was planning to go to law school. She was planning to run for public office. And I said, well, here's what ALC is, and here's why you need to be here. And not only was she here today, she was also here with another young Black woman who is running a project in her hometown dealing with Black women and voting, working with LaTosha Brown. So it's all about those connections, and that's what comes to life for me, and those are my favorite moments.
So for everyone who we're wrapping, for everyone who will be here this week, I hope that you hold on to those moments. For every staff member in the CBC members' offices, for the foundation staff, this is for y'all to hold on to those moments. Those are the affirmations that will get us through those tough times that aren't going as smoothly as we'd like them to. But this is something that is so very special, and we invite you all in to our family to be with us this week. We can't wait to see you. And if you happen to miss this year from Vision to Victory, we hope to see you next year because we will be winning. Now, I want to thank y'all for this Super Soul moment because it could have been more like Shannon Sharp. And on that note, we'll say goodbye.
Oh, wow. Boom.
We out.
I was like, what'd you just do?
I was going to shout her out every time I see her, from her shoes to look at.
Or Don, what's Don?
Look at that. Look at you.
Bring that thing back. You said, hold on.
No, I knew you were done, but look, you look amazing. I mean, the necklace, the everything.
Thank you, guys. That was special.
I was about to start crying. I got so emotional. Think about my members.
Thank you.
I miss you.
Oh, I missed you too. We don't get that. Are you leaving today?
Yeah, I got to go.
And then you go to New York?
I have my show. No, and then I go to Wilmington, Delaware to do another Politics and Prose.